Okay. What is going on, LBHT crew? B, what's going on?
Playoff P came back down to earth. Is what's going on, man.
Playoff P came back. Playoff P is back. Ben Simmons is back. Yeah. You guys cannot wait to talk some NBA playoffs today. Our man Garnett was here ready, locked and loaded. What's going on, Garnett? Attitude Pop is in the house. What's going on? Derek Weatherly, yes, LBHT fam. Our man Ferris is here. He said Bucks and 5. Bucks and 5. He also says Suns will win the whole championship. Now, we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into some NBA playoffs. This is going to be heavy NBA talk tonight. The playoffs is going on. It's getting thick, but we will not deprive you of some NFL talk, in particular our beloved Baltimore Ravens and Carolina Panthers. All right.
What's up, Tony Hendo?
Tony Hendo, what's going on? What's good? Thanks for coming through. Hope you guys are having a great week, but if not, hopefully it gets better starting tonight. If we get some time, we get into a little boxing. There's a little there's a little boxing, a little UFC this weekend. All right, if we get enough time, we'll get into that. We'll see how the flow of the night goes. But we're gonna start with some NBA talk. We gotta talk about Ben Simmons mishaps. We gotta talk about my Nets. They got eliminated. It was a tough one, but we're gonna break that down. But as always, we are going to start with a little Black History fact, and B has one for you.
Yeah, it's just going to be a real quick one tonight in honor of Ben Simmons, who is likely on his way out of out of Philadelphia very, very soon. What's up, Mr. J? So it's another Black basketball player who has a rather dubious honor, and some of you may know this, some of you may not. In fact, I'll ask the question and see who does know. Who is the most traded man in NBA history? What do you think, Jose? Who you got?
The most traded man?
The most traded.
I have no idea, man. I have no idea.
Well, I narrowed it down. I told you he's black. So,
it's not Luke Ridnour.
Luke Ridnour. He's up there, though. He is way higher than I would have expected.
The most traded man. Oh, man, I got to think about that. Well, you say he's black, so it ain't JJ Redick.
Derek Weatherly says Jeff Green. No. Mr. J the sixth. I mean, he gave two answers, so we're going to go ahead and disqualify Mr. J.
Okay. Which all right, we'll go with Jared Jack. I'm going to say Robert Horry.
Nope.
No?
Mr. J and Attitude Pop got it. It is Trevor Ariza. In his 17 seasons, he has been traded 11 times.
Tony Hendo got it too. Good job, guys.
There you go, Tony.
Good job.
Yeah, 11 times in his 17 seasons. The first time he got traded from the Knicks along with Penny Hardaway to Orlando for Stevie franchise.
Now, you could look at it two ways. It's like, man, were you that bad where you had to keep getting traded, or were you good enough long enough to where you had that kind of value where teams would trade for you? He wasn't a bad player at all.
He's been a good player, and like I said, that he's just a guy that teams are willing to part with, but also other teams want.
Yeah,
he plays defense, he shoots threes, and that's always going to be valuable in the NBA. He's still playing now.
Look,
and in fact, there's a decent shot he ends up as Ben Simmons' teammate at some point.
If you're not going to be a star level player, it's the next best thing, man. Be good enough to hang around, be good enough to linger around and collect those checks. So salute to you, Trevor Ariza. All right.
Chris, I'm not sure how many times he got traded in one season, but I know he's been traded more than once in a season. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And Ferris, I saw the disrespect that you had out there towards Panthers Nation. Okay. We will not have that.
No.
All right. We do talk Panthers on here. Okay. We talked about Panthers last week. You probably weren't in the room when we discussed it. Look, we're not talking a whole lot of football right now, right? Like, we like to talk about what's going on and keep things fresh. We don't want to do any top 10 lists or anything like that. And no diss to anybody that does that. That's what you cover, and that's fine. We just, we'll pick up the pace on more, Ravens and Panthers and just football talk in general when training camp starts and preseason and all that, right? Mm-hmm. But, you guys still want to talk about it. So if there's something worth talking about, we're going to talk about it. And, we have something worth kind of mentioning tonight. It's in the title. So we're going to discuss that later on the show. But first, we got to get into some playoffs. Okay, it is playoff time. Oh, it is playoff time. And all right, you already kind of teased the Ben Simmons thing. You want to start with Ben Simmons and the Sixers?
Sure. Yeah. They got beat. They got beaten 7 by Atlanta.
Oh man, Eric L's in the house. What's going on? Appreciate you coming through. Felipe Marino, what's up? Nets fans, look, we're not
adopted this heel persona. He wasn't like this when we first started.
That's okay.
When he first came to the show.
All right, Felipe, go ahead. Get your comments off. We're gonna talk some Hawks and Sixers, and then we're gonna get to the Nets next. All right. So yeah.
So Ben Simmons, I mean, look, obviously Ben Simmons is not solely to blame for the Sixers losing that series. Nope. I mean, a lot of guys could have played better. Doc Rivers could have done a better job coaching. But Ben Simmons, like he just took every fourth quarter off, basically.
Yeah. Which kind are you looking at?
Garnett saying the Suns are going to sweep. Don't think so.
Okay.
But, I think they're going to win the series. I don't think there's going to be a sweep.
He said messing around with the Kardashians will make you lose more than a jump shot. Okay. So, let's just we'll recap what happened. What everybody's talking about is the non-layup attempt. That sounds awful. Right. Yeah. Like just saying it sounds awful. He had an easy layup or dunk. And when he saw a defender close to him, he said, oh no, if he fouls me and I go to the line, that's a definite miss. So let me just go ahead and pass the ball. And the person that he passed it to went to the line and went 1 for 1, right? Or 1 for 2. So that didn't work out well. And I think he admitted that much in the press conference, how, hey, look, I was afraid that I was going to get fouled. And that's not a good answer either. Right.
It's an honest answer, but you don't always want to be honest.
No, because it doesn't matter if you're good or not. Like people want to see that you have that killer instinct, right? That we always talk about in sports. You want to have that killer instinct. You want somebody that wants to take over at the end of the game. Mm-hmm. And he pretty much said out loud, like, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
All right. And you got drafted way too high. People were expecting you to be the star. You got paid a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And you have a role player mentality. Honestly, less than a role player, because even role players take that shot.
Every player in the NBA wants to take shots except Ben Simmons.
Yeah. Now, like B said, you can't put it all on Ben Simmons, because had Embiid not missed that layup, we talking about layups, had he not missed that layup, and was it game 5? Game 5, game 6, game 5.
I can't remember. Yeah, but he had a Patrick Ewing moment.
Yeah, so we wouldn't even be here right now if it weren't for that. So look, Philly fans, I know a couple of Philly fans out there. I know they hurting. I know it sucks. I know Doc Rivers already came out and said, man, I don't know if we can win with this guy. I can't answer that right now. I don't know if you have a whole lot of options in terms of getting rid of Ben Simmons. In fact, that's going to be, we'll already put that up next. What is next for Ben Simmons after this?
Man, it's going to be really tough to move him and get good value for him, because of the fact that he, as Mr. J is alluding to here, he's a $30 million player, takes 5 shots. He makes way too much money for what his game is. Mm-hmm. He's a great defender. He's a great facilitator, but he refuses to take on any kind of scoring load. He won't shoot the ball at all. He won't shoot the ball outside the paint, and then at times he won't even go to the paint. Like he's not aggressive. So I don't know where you're going to be able to send him. A team that wants to absorb that salary and give you good players in return.
Yeah, Davon says send him to Shanghai. What's going on, Davon? I appreciate you coming through. Tony Hendo says therapy. That could be it. He might need to work with a sports therapist. Because look, he has all the tools. He has all the tools to be great. It's in his head, right? And it's one of those things. Maybe he goes out of it. He's only 26 years old.
24.
Oh, 24 years old. he's still young. He hasn't hit that threshold. Jose's threshold of championship ready players, right? Because my theory is NBA is a grown man's game. You don't really win with young players, and they don't get serious about the game until they hit about 27, 28 years old, around that range. So
it's getting real serious for Ben right about now, though.
Well, it's getting serious. Well, he's feeling hate because he's in Philly, right? Philly's letting him know, like, that's not okay at all. I'm sure MB's letting him know, and Doc, pretty much said it. Like, I think that locker room, I know the city is fed up with it, and it's tough. Like, I think if he was in a different place, it wouldn't be as bad. But Philly is very unforgiving, and I don't know how you're able to bring him back, because he's going to hear it all year next year. Every single game, if he doesn't perform well, he's going to hear it. And I'm not sure if he's ready to handle that yet. So it might be time to move him. What do you get for him? Man, that's going to be tough. What do you guys think you can get or they can get for Ben Simmons?
And it's going to be tough for Philly, period, because you pay too much for him, but you're also paying way too much for Tobias Harris. So when you take out Ben Simmons, who's a first-team all-defensive player and one of the best passers in the league, you're not going to get that back. You're not getting as good on defense. You're not getting as good of a passer back.
Right.
But you also can't rely on Tobias Harris to take on more scoring.
Yeah. Davon says send him to Orlando for who? Markelle Fultz? That would be funny. Man, can you imagine if they had Markelle Fultz though right now? They might win that series. Just saying. Garnett says Simmons is going to Golden State where he doesn't have to shoot. We talked about that earlier. He could work in Golden State, but as a six man in that Iguodala role, right? He can't be in the starting lineup. And do you want to pay $30 million for a six man?
Right. They can't take him on. And the other part of that is, what does Philly get out of that?
Right. Yeah, we're going to give him.
I mean, you can give Wiseman, but you just drafted him at, I believe, number 2. You could give Andrew Wiggins, but who really wants that?
Draymond.
Draymond is an older kind of version of Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
a little more offense there, but not much.
Felipe says he has a point guard mentality. Point guards take that shot, though, man.
Yeah. Steph Curry plays point guard too. Russ Westbrook plays point guard. He takes 22 shots a game.
So I told my friend, like what he did. It was one moment, but it was a big moment, and he's not gonna be able to live that down anytime soon. You go up to do the layup or a dunk. You're already in the process, and then you pass it. That's something that you do in 2K by accident, right? You're going to do your shot, and you accidentally hit the pass button. You go up, and you're just like it doesn't look real, that was awful, man. Like that says a whole lot. And sending him to a competitive team, that would be in the back of my mind. Like me and B discussed, like, oh, what if the Lakers got him? Yeah, he make the Lakers a better team for sure. He's a very good player, but it's in those clutch moments in the playoffs. What would he do? Will he freeze up like that? Like you don't want to have those questions. So I think it'll have to be a team, unfortunately, that's not really competing right now, where he doesn't have a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, and then you got to ask yourself, a team that's not really competing, why do they want to pay Ben Simmons $35 million?
Yep.
So it's going to be tough for them. It's going to be very tough.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Atu Pop says Knicks or Warriors. Now the Knicks. Now I know we just said a team that's not competing, and I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look. Ferris, close your ears. The Knicks are one of those teams when they say there's a sucker born every minute. That's the Knicks, and it's not a shot to the fans. It's a shot to the organization, really to the owner, right? James Dolan.
The owner probably doesn't even know what happened in that Sixers series.
Yeah. And Ferris would agree with that. They could finesse the Knicks easily, right? I think if you said Ben Simmons for Randall straight up, I think Knicks fans would be okay with that, to be honest. Because Randall disappointed in the playoffs too. He showed you he's not that guy, and the only way you're keeping him is on a max deal. I mean, if they pull that off, I think Knicks fans would get behind that. Even though Ben Simmons isn't a shooter, he's young. Yeah,
I think some would get behind it. Some would get behind it. But yeah, I'm not sure where he ends up. I don't see a place where he's a good fit, and it's because of his salary. You take the salary out of it. 29 teams could use Ben Simmons, right? But when you're paying him that much money, he has to score.
Man, living legend is here. Ben J. Missing Simmons. Oh man, look, I feel for him, man. I feel for him. He choked, man, and it's just like the way you choke. Because if you missed a layup, all right, fine. And Embiid missed a layup, right? Mm-hmm. Like he choked too. I mean, Embiid choked too. Don't get it twisted. He choked, and you had Clint Capella calling him out, saying, "Man, he always fades at the end of the game. I'm not worried about him." Yeah. I mean, straight up punked him, right? So there's blame to go around.
He was on John Collins' T-shirt in their press conference after they won the series.
Yeah. So I mean, there's blame to go around, but you did the one thing that you absolutely cannot do, and that's not even try. And that's the story of Ben Simmons. He's taking 4 or 5 shots a game, and some of these games, all these games are close games. All these games are close games. And every time you look at a game that they lose, and you look at the stat sheet, Ben Simmons took 3 shots. Right, he made all 3. That's nice. He didn't take any more shots. We could have used one more basket.
Or they lost by 3 and he missed 10 free throws.
Yes, yeah. Man, I don't know what do you do with that. But I mean, he's a talent for sure. But what do you do with that? Yeah.
Garnett said if you were to look at the game configuration on a PlayStation controller, every button is just pass.
Yeah. Oh, Noah's in the house. What's going on, Noah? Noah says, Noah? If only James Harden's foot didn't cross the line. Are you talking about KD?
Durant, yeah,
Durant. We can get into that next. You guys want to transition to that?
Well, before we get there, Ferris asked, did we see Devin Booker's nose? And yes, he's not going to be modeling anymore anytime soon.
Oh man, I didn't see what happened. B told me that he got headbutted.
Yeah, they clashed heads. It's not a headbutt. Like I think Beverly was going for a steal and he was kind of leaning in, and accidental headbutt, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so all right, we'll talk about the. Well, hold on. Mr. J said, I know the Thunder are looking at the 76ers situation like we will take them off your hands for a pick. The Thunder are going to end up owning like 20 of the picks in the first round this year. Yeah. Hey, that's the way to do it, right? Look, when you're trying to rebuild, acquire as much assets as you can.
Mm-hmm.
If you let Clint Capella and John Collins punk you, get off the court and don't come back. Hey, man.
Yeah, that's what Philly told him.
Yeah. And you know what? Ben Simmons bailed him out. So really, MB, you should be saying thank you.
And listen, Doc Rivers has to take some blame for this also.
Absolutely.
You know what Ben Simmons is doing out there. You have to take him off the court.
Didn't we say that? Did we not say that in the last live stream?
Yeah.
I think we said that like you have to bench him.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds extreme because Ben Simmons and he's getting all this money and he's a starter and he's a good player, but he's a liability on offense towards the end of the game. They're hacking him to go to the line to miss free throws because it's almost a sure thing he's going to miss.
Yeah, worst free throw percentage in NBA history in the playoffs. You can't have that.
Yeah, like I'm taking your minutes all the way down. Yeah. I'm taking them all the way down. The backup can't do any worse than that. At least he'll shoot.
Mm-hmm.
At least he'll shoot the ball. Like, nah, your minutes gone. All right. Speaking of gone, my Nets, they're done. they're done. I mean, Felipe. He's waiting for this moment, man. Hey, pop champagne, man. They did it. They did it. I'm not upset. I'm not upset. I'm disappointed, obviously. But man, that was a great game. That was an entertaining game. Me and B, I was in B's basement. We were watching it, and I had a lot of fun watching that game. Obviously, I wish the outcome was different, and literally just
if he wore the size of shoes that he is supposed to wear, the Nets would be in the conference finals right now. There's a story that he wears a size up on the court, and that's why his shoes were always falling off at the time. And if you look, it was just the toe. Just the toe was on the line.
It was barely the toe. It was it was close enough to where it had to just move just a little bit more. If it was just a tiny bit on the line, they were trying to give him that three. They were trying, but because it was an amazing shot. It was an amazing shot. That was one of those that would have gone down in history if it was a game winner. And he stepped on the line and got into overtime, and neither team really had much left. There was only 6 points total scored, or 8 points. Technically 8 points. Yeah, 3 shots made in overtime. Both teams were gassed, and it was written all over their face. And they talked about it. The announcers talked about Giannis just breathing heavily. He looked gassed, and I'm sure he was gassed. Giannis had a great game, by the way. I'm disappointed at my team losing, but I'm very happy for Giannis, and I'm rooting for Giannis to win a ring. So, congrats to the Bucks, man. The Nets will be back. I'm not worried about it. Harden obviously was playing hurt, and it showed. Kyrie didn't show up at all.
Well, I like how you put that. Didn't show up as if he wasn't hurt. You sound like Michael Jordan talking about Pippen's migraines right now. He said he had an ankle injury. I don't know. I can't verify that.
All I'm saying
is his head hurt.
All I'm saying is this. I can only go off of what they say, right? It could be worse. And I'm saying this as somebody who would have absolutely sat out, because it doesn't take much for me to sit out anything. But Steve Nash said that it wasn't a season-ending injury, and he could definitely come back for the postseason. So coming back, we're going into the conference finals now, and then the NBA finals. So that would have been relatively soon if he could come back. Yeah. If they win that game, you're in the next round. Would he have been back for game 1, game 2? Like, what are we talking about? And if he was going to be ready a few days later, are you telling me he couldn't come in this game now and give you a couple minutes? Like, I don't know. I don't know the answer, right? I'm kind of putting it out there, but
the answer is that Kyrie wasn't going to do it.
He wasn't going to do it. That's the main thing. Like, he wasn't going to do it. Sterling, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through.
So Sterling.
The fact is he wasn't going to do it, and that's fine, as long as KD and Harden are cool with it. They're the ones that have to ask themselves that, and if the answer is, nah, man, like, we know him, like, if he could go, he's going to go. But when both of them gave it their all, Blake Griffin, by the way, also had a good game. He gave it his all too, man. I'm proud of Blake. And but it's going to be in the back of the mind. Could he have went? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're like, no, that's fine. You sit out, because they thought they were going to win the series.
Because it is the thing with Kyrie, and this is why I think eventually, after next year, they're all free agents. I think KD and Harden are definitely coming back. I don't think they're going anywhere. I think Kyrie will be gone. Kyrie doesn't take the game as serious as the other two, right? KD for sure. KD is playing for legacy, right? KD is one of the all-time greats. There's no question about that. There's no debating that. Now it's just a matter of where is he going to finish on that all-time greats list. And it matters to him. It matters to Harden too. Harden wants his ring. He believes he's up there too. Kyrie just doesn't care, right? Kyrie cares when he wants to care.
Kyrie was at the Juneteenth cookout with him.
Yeah.
What's up, Emphasis?
What's going on? Thanks for coming through, man. I appreciate you guys coming through every week, man. Like, we love seeing you guys return every week on a Wednesday too. Yeah, man. Beverly. You're talking about the you're talking about the headbutt. Beverly was probably floppy. We'll get to that in a second. Yeah, we'll get to that game. KD ran out of gas. He did, man. He did.
Yeah, and this is a problem that I have with a lot of NBA, particularly the stars. It's not just KD. They get at the end of the game, and there's 10 seconds or less left in the game, and they just decide before they even get the ball what shot they're taking. Because he didn't even attempt to get a 2-point basket there. All they needed was a 2. He went for the win, and he decided, before they even inbounded the ball, that he was going for the win, and he just didn't have enough. You didn't have to get the ball there, but you didn't try to get it to.
And look, take note, Ben Simmons. right? He went for. I mean, me and B are watching, and we're saying, look, you don't have to sell for that, man. Go for 2 and tie it. But he wanted the win, and I respect that. It was way short. He didn't have anything left in the tank, but I respect it because it's KD and he lives for those moments, and he showed you literally in regulation that he can make that shot. It was the exact same shot almost.
Yeah. Like it's just something that bothers me because I mean those are low percentage shots, but guys like KD, they can hit that shot and they know they can hit that shot. So I mean it is what it is. But he was, like I said, they were all exhausted at that point.
Yeah.
But how many of you thought that shot was going in when it left his hands? Because I did. I thought it was going in.
I did. I mean, I had anytime he puts a shot up, I think it's gonna go in. He's that great of a scorer. Yeah. Especially, he's the one player in the NBA when he goes for a mid-range shot, it's like shooting a free throw. Like I know it's going in. I don't even as soon as he takes that shot, I'm like, yes. I mean, he never misses that shot. Yeah. He never misses it. He might make the mid-range more than he makes his free throws.
Yeah. So with that said, that the conference finals are starting a little later tonight with Milwaukee and Atlanta. Don't want to make it all about Philly and Ben Simmons. Atlanta played a great series. Trae Young. Mm-hmm. Trae Young he's had some struggles shooting the ball, but he's really stepped up as a facilitator. And Kevin Huerter was out there. I mean, he was getting them buckets when they needed them.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
Maryland kid too.
Great run from the Hawks. So congrats to them.
Absolutely, man. Look, this is the challenge right here. This is the challenge. We'll see what they're gonna do.
I don't think they're ready for it, but good for them for getting there.
I think they're ready. I just don't think they're the better team, if that makes sense.
Well, Ben, that's what I mean. Like they're not ready. The team's not ready. They don't have enough talent, I don't think, to take on Milwaukee. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Ferris said, "Don't you mean Kayvon?"
I do mean Kayvon. Only sometimes, Ferris. Only sometimes.
Yeah. And I saw your other comment, man. Like, I wasn't dissing World B Flat. That's Kyrie. If you guys don't know, World B Flat is Kyrie's nickname. If you look on Pro Basketball Reference, I'm not dissing him, man. Like he said it. He said he said it a few times. Basketball is not the most important thing going on in the world right now. It never is. Basketball is never the most important thing going on in the world.
Right.
But he's an amazing player, right? And I'm sure when he's playing, when he's in the game, he's locked in on the game. But
yeah, absolutely.
But
I don't think anybody really believes he's out there kind of half-assing it.
No, not at all. No. Not at all. But it's a different vibe in the playoffs, right? Yeah. You can tell that KD and Harden just want it more than he does. You can tell. Like, I mean, Harden, I was surprised he played. Like he's been having hamstring injuries since late in the season. He came into the playoffs with a hamstring injury, and it was bad enough to where he had to sit out. When the game he came back, you could tell it just wasn't good. I didn't think he was gonna come back after Game 6, but Game 5. I think he came back. Game 5. But he fought through it, and even though he couldn't shoot like he normally did, he found ways to get involved in the game. He just wanted that bad. And like I said, I don't really want to put that on Kyrie because maybe it was too bad for him to go. And it's his ankle, it's not a hamstring, it's different injuries. But like you said, like Kyrie's been getting off that vibe all year that it's just, hey, I'm just not that worried about it.
Yeah, fair or not, it looks bad. When you have Harden playing, when you had Donovan Mitchell playing through an ankle injury, you had LeBron playing through an ankle injury in the first round when he clearly wasn't himself. So I mean, it has that kind of negative connotation to him just sitting there. But I mean, I don't think that he could have played. If he could have played, I think he would have been out there.
Yeah.
But it just, it's just the way it looks considering what's been happening in the playoffs this year with the injuries. Right. Emphasis says Bucks in 6. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. That's kind of where I'm at with it too. I don't think that, I don't think they're gonna run over the Hawks, but I just don't think the Hawks have enough to really beat them.
Yeah. Garden says, A-Town, stay down. Okay. Yep. Kyrie's skill set is unreal. It is, man. It really is. Giannis got under him purposely purposely accidental. That's what B said. B said it was an accident.
He came from. I mean, he was out of the frame and ran right under him and stood there. Like I don't want to say he was trying to injure him, but yeah, you ran right under him and stopped.
Yeah, because my thing is, I don't think Giannis is a dirty player at all.
No.
In fact, I'm rooting for him to win the rest of the way. But what other reason do you have to get under somebody?
Maybe he said, like, nobody thinks I'm a dirty player. I'll get away with this one.
yeah, and it worked. And it worked. When you get under somebody, I mean, you know what that is. You know what I mean? Like, there's no other reason to do it. Like, I don't know. I want to believe it was an accident. Garnett said KD looks like Carlton Banks.
Cool. It's not cool.
Yeah, Sterling. KD ran out of gas. He did. I mean, everybody did. Nobody would look fresh, other than Joe Harris missing them shots.
Attitude Pop saying he's boxing out. I mean, Kyrie hadn't actually shot the ball yet, though. Like, you know, and I get what you're saying, and I think that's probably what it is. He was running in there to hopefully get a rebound because he wasn't contesting the layup, but he ran right under Kyrie. Yeah, he wasn't like, you know, off to the side or whatever. He ran right under him. But you know, I mean, I think it was accidental. I mean, I joked about it, but he wasn't trying to hurt Kyrie.
Yeah, Tupac says KD needs to go bald. Man, I think he has that look on purpose.
He is attitude.
Yeah, he is going bald. I think that's his. So in my theory of grown man basketball, right? When you turn 27, you get into, you know, from 27 up, early 30s, the game isn't fun anymore, right? It's serious. Like you've already proven that you can play. You've made money. You've been an all-star, all NBA, all that stuff. All that's left is to start working on your legacy at that point. And it's just every player. Look at every player. Every player has a different demeanor when they get older. They're not smiling as much. Right. Yeah. Their hairstyle is real basic. Y'all remember Kobe with the afro? Y'all don't even remember Kobe with the afro, do you? Nope. You remember Black Mamba that was bald. Okay. Because hairstyles are for children. Right? Yeah. And that's KD, man.
He's got the Clyde Drexler look going.
Yeah, KD, like he worried about his fade until he became a grown man. He just like, look, man, like it's gonna grow or it's not gonna grow. Either way, you know, I'm about this basketball. Mm-hmm. So it's just everything changes about them when they get to that point where they're just focused on winning. And I think KD is just saying, I don't care how my hair looks. I'm here to get buckets. Yeah.
So the other series going on, we got the Clippers minus Kawhi Leonard going up against the Suns, who up to this point have not had Chris Paul. The Suns are up 2-0 after, I mean, just a miraculous last-second basket from DeAndre Ayton yesterday. I mean, I kind of think that series is over a little bit. Like, you know, Paul George, he had the chance to kind of, you know, lock that game in and get them that split on the road. He went to the free throw line. He missed both shots, and then they failed to kind of box out DeAndre Ayton on that dunk attempt with 0.9 seconds left. I mean, they could get it back on the road, right? Or back
at home
when they go home.
Yeah.
I just don't really see him doing it. I don't trust Paul George to lead them back, really.
Yeah. Tanja Bowman is here. What's going on, Tanja? She said, y'all funny. I'm driving home laughing at you.
I mean, I hope you're laughing with us.
Yeah.
What about that?
Raven Ron, what's going on, my man?
What's up, Ron?
Yeah. All right. Thanks for coming through. Yeah. So that was a bad loss for them. They needed to steal one while Chris Paul is out, because I forgot. I didn't even think about it. Like, man, Chris Paul didn't even play in that game, right? He's still out on protocol. So when he comes back, I think the Suns run away with it.
Back. Well, they're expecting him to be back for Game 3. You know, teams play better at home. Obviously, role players play worse on the road. So I mean, maybe they can get one there. I just don't think they have enough to win the series without Kawhi.
Man, Chris Paul is going to eat Pat Beverly for breakfast. Okay. He is going to eat that man alive. They're going to look like a completely different team with Chris Paul on the court. I mean, they're already a good team without him. I mean, they've shown that.
Yeah.
But Chris Paul is that kind of point guard. We talk about like having that veteran leadership. Like he knows how to get everybody in the right position. You know, he knows like the right place to get you the ball and all that stuff. And he can do a lot offensively and defensively. So it's, man, I think they're toast. I think LA's toast. Kawhi ain't coming back. I know people are saying, oh, well, if, you know, maybe Kawhi comes back. Kawhi is not coming back. He had an ACL injury. Do you guys know of any other ACL injury other than a tear? No.
And even if he comes back, he's not going to be Kawhi.
Have you ever heard of a bruised ACL? No. There's no such thing. It's a torn ACL.
And, Derek is correct. He says join the Discord to get his playoff picks. That's right.
Yes.
You get the Discord along with our, you know, when you become a patron.
Yes.
And Derek is in there breaking down all these games, giving you the inside info on all the prop bets and everything.
Okay, so yeah, so this is a perfect time to pause and give our little infomercial. Okay, do our ads. So as Derek mentioned, there we have a Discord channel that is for our patrons, and if you want to be a Patreon, all you have to do just for as little as $3 a month, right above me there, patreon.com/LBHT show. We have $3 tier and a $10 tier. And what both tiers get you, access to our Discord, like Derek mentioned. We have a overtime show that starts right after this show every Wednesday night. That's a lot of fun. Ferris is in there. Derek's in there. You know, lots of people. And we talk about anything and everything. Anything that you want to talk about, we talk about it. We just have, you know, hang out and have fun. Also, we're going to be doing a fantasy football league and a pick'ems league. And both of those leagues will have we'll either do a trophy, I think a trophy for the pick'ems league and a championship belt for the fantasy football league. So make sure you sign up for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And for the $10 tier, for a limited time, you can get one of these nice, shiny LBHT coins. Okay, these are Founders coins. They are limited. Oh, look at that. See, I got my green screen now, so it's doing the same thing as you're doing. It's actually a blue screen. Yeah. But we'll get one of those. They're limited. Once they're out, we'll have something else for the $10 tier, but those will be gone. These are limited. But that's one way to support. Another way is right above B there. That's our Cash App, $ LBHT Show. We use that as our super chat. So if you guys are looking for a super chat, that's the way you get a highlighted comment on our show. Okay.
Cash App and Venmo. And as you said that, we actually did get an anonymous Cash App. So again, thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate every donation that we get from you guys. Thank you so much for supporting us.
Yeah, it goes to things like this behind me. I finally got I got a blue screen, not a green screen. I got a blue screen because I tried a green screen. The lights kind of bounced off of it too much. But yeah, and the third way to support, if you like the merch, if you like what we're wearing, see, because I'm wearing a blue screen, you can't see the purple. This is more purple than it looks right here. It looks kind of brownish on the screen. But you can get a shirt like this. You can get a beanie like B is wearing. We just rolled out some more LBHT crew merchandise. So, you know, everybody, all you guys are LBHT crew, man. So you can represent by going to the site, getting you a shirt, some shorts, tank tops, all that good stuff, man. Go check it out. LBHTshow.com/shop. Okay, take a look around, see if there's something that you like. And like B said, if you make a purchase, it goes right towards making this show better. All right. So we want to get back to some Clippers and Suns.
Yeah, Clippers are done.
Okay. Mr. J says it's going to be a pick your poison situation. Use Cousins or Zubac to slow down Ayton, but then get killed by Brooks and CP3, PNR mid game or pick and roll mid game, or go small ball, and Ayton is going to kill whoever is at the 5.
And
yes,
to be honest, I'm not sure that Zubac and Cousins can really slow down Ayton. So, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Oh no, you're getting a little ambitious there with the Patreon there. Hold on, we gotta talk about that. Okay, we ain't say all that. Okay,
yes, $10 patrons can get crew shirts by going to lbhtshow.com/shop. What's up, Donovan? Sales coming through.
Donovan, what's going on? Appreciate you coming through. Okay. You guys are coming at the right time because we're gonna finish up here. We'll get into some football talk here.
So who we've got going to the finals? I've got Milwaukee beating Phoenix in the finals.
Yes, me too. I actually think that might go 7 games. Because
I think you're probably right on that. Yeah.
Because you gotta realize too, if those two make it, huge implications for Chris Paul and Giannis. These are two guys playing for legacy. Chris Paul especially, because the one thing that's missing, the only thing that Chris Paul doesn't have is a title. That's the only thing he doesn't have on his resume, man. He has had an amazing career. He's a surefire Hall of Famer. But the knock on him is he chokes, right? And he has been a choker. He's been an amazing player his whole career, just hasn't been able to win it all. And this would change the whole narrative on Chris Paul. He'd be looked at in a completely different light if he gets this ring. And, Giannis kind of has that a little bit too. It's just that he's younger. But he's won an MVP. Has he won 2? Just
Giannis has 2.
Two MVPs. He's won 2 MVPs. I mean, come on, man. Like you got to get that ring, right?
That's why I think, they get to the finals. And I do think there's a good chance of that going 7. And I think game 7, Giannis comes out and drops 65. He's not gonna go home a loser in a game 7.
Yeah. So now I know a lot of people are saying, "Hey, man, this finals is gonna be boring." I don't think it's gonna be boring, man. I think it's gonna be very exciting. So,
we should talk about that because a lot of people are saying they think it's bad for the league that these young players are there, and LeBron and Curry and Durant are not going to be advancing to the finals. You agree with that?
No. You said that they're not gonna have
that LeBron and KD and Curry, like the mega stars, aren't in the playoffs anymore, and you got some of the younger guys advancing. Some people say that they think the ratings will be lower and they think it's bad for the league and things like that.
No, I don't think so, because look, LeBron's only got maybe 1 more year left to play. Let's be honest. All right, he's not playing. He's not going to play forever. The stars that you remember aren't going to be around for much longer. I mean, even KD's playing great right now, but he's got a few more years and then he'll be done. Yeah. These young guys have to get more exposure. So yes, that'll be the thought process going in, but I think that the Rays are doing well now. That's the funny thing. Like they're saying, hey, it's going to be low ratings for the finals, but Mark Cuban came out and said, man, ratings are at an all-time high right now.
They're up, I think you said 39% over last year. The only thing that I think is a negative, and it's a slight negative, is that these teams didn't really beat those guys at their best, right?
No.
The Lakers were hurt. Denver was hurt. The Clippers are hurt. The Nets were hurt. I mean, there's a lot of injuries. So I think, that's the only slight negative. But the fact is, having your younger players, your younger stars come up and beat your old stars is a very good thing for the league.
Absolutely.
You want fans to see that the future of the league is in good hands. And when you've got Trae Young out there, you got Devin Booker out there, beating these older guys, then that gives fans even more reason to be excited for the future. I mean, I'm a Lakers fan.
Was it passing on the guard?
Passing, yeah, right. I'm a Lakers fan. Also, obviously, I want to see them win. But if I take being a fan out of it, LeBron getting knocked out of the playoffs, I mean, it's not going to hurt his legacy. He's a 4-time champion,
right?
But it is going to do wonders for the younger players. I mean, even Luka, they went down to the Clippers in the first round in 7 games. But Kawhi was playing. Kawhi is, I believe, 29 or 30, and they pushed them to 7 games, and they made Kawhi play his absolute best to beat them.
Yeah.
So, that's what you want to see from your young players, because these guys are all really, really young.
Yeah. So that's the exciting thing. Like I was saying, passing on the guard. You see this all the time in boxing, right? Like you want boxers, the up and coming boxers, to beat the older grades that are on their way out, because it gives them recognition, right? Like, hey, De La Hoya got huge because he beat Julio Cesar Chavez. Now, Chavez was well past washed, right? But it was important that he he took the reins from Chavez as that next great Mexican fighter, right? Like they had to make that happen. Actually, they did it twice. That's what they were trying to do with Canelo. Canelo's still good. He's still a star, absolutely. Yeah. But had he beaten Floyd Mayweather, that would have elevated him even more. Yeah. He's still huge, right? Because he's a great fighter. I think taking on Mayweather set him back a little bit. But I mean, that's the whole point. Like you want your young rising stars to beat the outgoing stars, to show people, hey, this is the next, best thing. So what's going on right now? Yeah, I mean, obviously players were hurt, and I think if the Nets were fully healthy, you'd be looking at them as the NBA champions. That's why I'm not worried about next year. But for this year, man, I'm going to be watching. Like, my team is eliminated. I'm going to be watching. I think it's going to be exciting. So you guys should definitely watch.
These guys are a ton of fun to watch. Yeah, and even Donovan Mitchell, he's out now, but he's a ton of fun to watch. And like you said, the guys like LeBron and Curry and Durant, they've only got a couple more years left at the top. You absolutely want to see the young guys step up and take it. Emphasis says it's good for the league, in my opinion. It kind of annoys me when the media covers two teams all year because it's a foregone conclusion that they're going to go into the finals. Yeah, that's a problem with a long season sometimes too.
Yeah. Let's read some of these comments. You guys are, Andre Mears. What's going on? Appreciate you coming through.
What's up, Andre?
Yes, this is an opportunity for the young guys to shine. Absolutely, Noah. Let's see. The Suns, wing death followed by pain playing out of body is good to get them to the finals. Bridges is becoming a two-way star. He is. Cam is a sniper. Torrey is a decent 3-and-D. And
Jay, the guy who talks trash with no right to. Got you.
Yeah. Ferris says playoffs will make mega stars. Players will just have to take it. Like Devin Booker, you have to take it. Absolutely. What else we got here? Andre says, if someone would have told the Suns versus Clippers and Bucks versus Hawks would have been the last four teams left, I would have laughed. Yeah. Ezekiel Kage, what's good? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate that. Mr. J the Six makes a good point here. PG missing those free throws did not cost them the game. It was over when Payne started taking heat check shots and started cashing them in. I think PG missing those shots absolutely.
Listen, I'm gonna disagree with you there. I don't think that the Suns are hitting a 3-pointer with 0.9 seconds left to win it.
No,
or to tie it. And tie it overtime.
Yeah,
I don't think that happens. But no, they still should have stopped them. So no, it didn't lose them the game. They absolutely should not have given up that 2 points to Aiden.
Yeah. But look, when you're a star, you have to hit them. You can't miss two. Yeah. Like missing one, okay, that happens. The second one's supposed to be automatic. You can't miss it. Yeah. All right, you ready for some football?
Well, we did have one more basketball story.
Okay.
The Boston Celtics are hiring their coach Ime Udoka out of Brooklyn. He played in the league for 7 years. He played for the Lakers, the Knicks, Portland, the Kings, and San Antonio. I think most people probably know him from San Antonio. And he's been an assistant coach since 2012. He was with the Spurs and more recently with the Nets. And Boston has hired him to take over, and be the guy who gets Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to that next level.
Yeah.
Man, I think it's honestly, we don't know. He's never been a head coach, but I think it's a really, really good hire for Boston.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm surprised. They did that. I thought they would probably try to go with some more established coach. I like these new hires, to be honest. I like, fresh faces. We just talked about NBA players, these young players getting some shine. I love seeing some new head coaches get a little bit of shine out there. So I would say I wish them the best, but I wish you well, just not the best.
Derek Willis says Stevens hired him to do what he couldn't. Absolutely. Apparently that's a controversial statement, I guess, but that is the absolute truth.
He better have hired him for that. Anyone? Yeah, Ferris says anyone in the pop tree is good. Except Budenholzer.
Budenholzer's in the conference finals right now.
Whatever.
You just picked him to win a championship.
Look, okay? I picked Giannis to win. I don't like Budenholzer, but I picked Giannis to win. Look, we all know stars rise above their coaches, okay?
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah,
that's true.
So, congratulations to him. And a fun fact, he's also married to Nia Long.
But he already won.
Yeah, he won years ago. Okay, let's get into some quick football talk, and then we'll open it up to bonus time, and you guys can ask or bring up whatever you want to bring up.
Zeke, we went over this a minute ago, asking who do we think will win it all. I'm picking the Bucks I think they beat Phoenix in 7.
Okay. Add to Pop says, you heard Lamar and his mom is negotiating a huge deal. He about to get his contract before July or training camp. Man, that's a perfect segue to our next topic here.
Attitude Pop coming through.
Attitude Pop, man,
clutch, unlike Paul George.
But Attitude Pop, man, maybe it's the playoff it's the playoff settings, but you have been you've been clutch. You've been clutch lately, man. Salute to you. So, yeah. Do I have it? I don't have it. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna be talking about some Ravens and Panthers. So you want to bring up the Athletic article that we're going to be referencing?
Yeah, the Athletic, they put out an article recently where they collected all of their beat writers and had them pick who they thought was going to be the team MVP for each team, for all 32 teams. Jeff Drybeck for the Ravens said Lamar Jackson is going to be the team MVP. Joe Person, who covers the Panthers, said he thinks it's going to be Christian McCaffrey. So, the two kind of least imaginative responses that you could get, right? I mean, I get where Jeff is coming from with Lamar Jackson. He's arguably the most valuable player in the league, right? But to just kind of phone it in and say it's going to be a running back, I didn't really like that. I didn't like that
so much. Let's Get Ready Network. What's going on? Justice for Ivan? Who's Ivan? I
have no idea who Ivan is.
That's gotta be a Schmodown. That's gotta be a Schmodown reference. Justin, if that's a Schmodown reference, put it in the chat because we like to promote the Schmodown community here. Okay, so and you could check out Justin, you could check out Ferris, you could check out who else is on that network. Danny, yeah. There's a whole bunch of them. Let's Get Ready Network.
Amber is one of their new hosts.
Amber,
as well.
Yep. And Sugar's coming back too.
He's doing a live stream with Adelia later on tonight. I believe. Okay. I want to say starting at 9:30. Ferris can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But yeah, definitely check them out.
Okay. So yeah, definitely subscribe to them. If you don't know what Schmodown is,
Ferris says Evika. Mr. J says, before we move on to the Ravens and Panthers, Mr. J says, yes, I understand. Paul George missing those free throws was the obvious reason they lost, but who lets Cameron Payne score 29? I think the answer to that is also Paul George. But yes, no, I get your point. Absolutely. You can't let Cameron Payne do that to you. Just, it's similar to Terrence Mann scoring 39 on Utah, right? You can't let that happen. You can't let a role player do that to you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, okay, we're talking about the MVPs for both teams. So obviously Lamar is an obvious pick, and Christian McCaffrey really is the obvious pick for the Panthers if you think about it. He's the best player. Pick,
but it's not. But he's not the most valuable player. I mean, he's not going to affect the season at all. In terms of wins and losses. If you look at him, you say, hey, that's a 5-win team. There'll be a 5-win team without him too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for them, I mean, the answer should be Sam Darnold, because he plays quarterback and that's the most important position, but I don't think that you can really count on him.
Yeah.
So in Carolina, man, can you have a most valuable player on a team that's going to win 4 games?
Though, but you know what though? I can see him making some game-winning plays for them.
For sure. But what I'm saying is like those are games that you'd be able to win without him. Last year, like I said, they didn't have him for almost the entirety of the season, and they won 5 games. The year before that, they won, I want to say 6 when they did have him. You know, he
Oh,
just
Justin.
that position just
Oh,
doesn't make that big of a difference.
Justin. Not the 76ers, bro. You meant the Clippers. You talking about the Clippers?
You are all over the place, Justin. All over the place.
I got you though, Justin. Yes. Yeah.
The refs in that game were terrible.
Yes.
They called a bunch of horrible fouls on Devin Booker. That hook was a terrible call. But yes, DeAndre Ayton did grab Zubac's jersey and push him into that screen. They didn't call that either. So
yeah. But yes. I can't argue with Lamar. I mean, yes. I think if Raven Ron says it right here. Team runs through Lamar. He helps the O-line struggles, tight ends, running backs. Lamar's the MVP. There's no question about it.
Absolutely. So
I can't even make an argument for anybody else.
No. So what we want to do there, because Lamar's going to bring that certain level of production. Who do you think is the most important player for Baltimore? Who you think is going to step up? Who's going to give you something that you're not necessarily expecting, but you need to get over the hump? Who do you think that is?
Okay. So we're looking for MVP runner-up here.
Yes.
Okay.
MVP I thought I like the way I said it better, but yes, second place. I was like, who's second place?
Second place. So Hollywood. I would say Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Because I don't look. Bateman's going to be a good player. I think he's going to be probably our best receiver we've ever drafted. Right when it's all said and done, he might be the best player wide receiver we've ever had, but it's not going to happen in his rookie year.
Okay.
So I think Hollywood is going into his third year, and he's already shown you he could step up in big games. I think this year he's going to be that guy. So I would say Hollywood.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just going back again, Justin said he did a video on it where he got all of this right. Y'all go check out that video. Justin knows what he's talking about. All right. Don't let this
He knows sports. I promise you, he does.
Yeah.
Okay. Derek says Hammy Watkins. You know what though? You know what? Derek has a point there. If Sammy Watkins can stay healthy, we've said it before. He's young. And he has all the talent. Sammy Watkins, if he broke out, had like a 1,200-yard season and 10, 12 touchdowns, that wouldn't surprise me at all. He's good enough to do it.
Okay.
But he's got a little Ben Simmons in him.
Yeah. Jay Will, thanks for coming through. He says maybe Marlon Humphrey. Attitude Pop is saying Rashad Bateman or Marlon Humphrey. Living Legend is saying J.K. Dobbins is going to be the runner-up there.
I like Dobbins.
Okay, and now Attitude Pop changed it and said Hollywood or Humphrey.
Okay. You know what happened? He started putting Rashad, and then I talked him out of it. I got you, Attitude Pop. I got you.
Justin says it's going to be Justin Tucker because y'all ain't scoring no touchdowns.
You know what? But you know what, though? That's another good point. Justin Tucker, I mean, he always comes through in the clutch. You want to pick Justin Tucker? I'm not going to be mad at that. Oh, Caleb is here. What's going on?
Caleb?
He said Justin doesn't know sports. Oh, wow.
Raven Ron says J.K. Dobbins as well. He gets more utilized in the screenplay. Okay. All right. Now, you guys are saying this. I've seen a lot of Dobbins. So you know we're going to go with this next. What are we going to do with Gus Edwards? If Dobbins is getting all this play, he making such a big impact, what does that mean for Gus? Gusto.
Yeah. I don't want to open that up.
That's why he's getting that singing career off the ground.
Okay. All right. Let's open it up to bonus time. Okay. You guys, you can.
Well, hold up. I didn't get my answer on Carolina. My word.
Oh, okay. I mean,
my goodness. I know. For the Panthers, I don't believe in Sam Darnold. I just don't. And I'm not going to until he goes out there and plays really well for a long period of time. I'm just not going to believe in him.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say the guy who needs to step up to make a difference for this team is going to be I can't even give him a name because it's going to be whoever wins left tackle. Right now, that's slated to be Cameron Irving.
It's not going to be Cam Irving.
I know it's not going to be Cameron Irving.
It's not going to be Cam Irving.
So they're talking about the kid from BYU. Maybe trying him out there. They have Greg Little still. They have Daly still. Whoever earns that job in training camp and preseason has to play well above expectations. And if they do, Carolina can rise above the 5-6 wins that people think they're going to get.
Raven Ross said, this is what I'm laughing at. He said, please no one say Mr. Zero Sacks Oweh. And to that point for the Panthers, I think Brian Burns. I'm gonna say Brian Burns. Mm-hmm. He's gonna be representative of the defense. The defensive unit is gonna be what really anchors this team this year. And if you have some success, it's gonna be because the defense is playing stout, and it'll be led by Brian Burns. So yeah. Okay. Brian Burns is going to be my pick.
Eric L says Lamar's new contract, 3 years for $150 million, fully guaranteed by the start of the season. Agree or disagree? I'm going to disagree. I don't think he's going to get anywhere near a $50 million, average per year. But I think he gets his contract before the start of the season. Yeah.
No, it's not going to be $50 million. Now, if it were me, I would say nothing less. But I think. B thinks it's going to be less than 40. I think it's going to be around 40, maybe a little bit more than 40 per year. I can see 3 years, 120, or 4 years, 4 years, 160, something like that. I don't think it's going to be a long deal, but
because the problem there, Eric, is they're not going to give him that kind of money and a short deal. If he's going to get a huge average per year, it's going to be a long-term deal. And the shorter the deal is, the less they're going to want to give him because they're going to have to pay him again immediately.
Yeah,
almost immediately.
Yeah, Mr. J agrees with you.
That's right.
Okay, just a low. Oh, glad you came. We have a question for you. Is it just a low or just aloe? Let us know, please, because we like to get names right here. Okay, we've been calling you Just a Low for a very long time. I hope we got it right. Oh, I didn't read your comment. My bad.
The Ravens will try to lowball Lamar because he has no agent. Absolutely, they try to lowball everybody. Man, they are so cheap. I hate it so much. Man. They don't want to pay anybody.
Yeah. They
were playing hardball with Ronnie Stanley.
Look, I have faith in Lamar's mom to get the best deal for him. So, he said just aloe. Oh, we were saying it wrong this whole time. Why didn't you correct us?
I'm sorry. Like it really just occurred. Cause, I'm just reading these things like phonetically because we're just doing it. And then one day I was just like, that's 2 words. Like I know what aloe is.
Well, it's just like emphasis. He put it in his name because I definitely would have said emphasis. All right.
I'm sorry, just aloe.
Just aloe. All right, we got it now. Just aloe. We will correct that moving forward.
I don't know what this is in reference to, but Caleb said Taysom can't throw, and thank you for fighting the good fight, Caleb. I don't know what conversation you guys are having, but that's absolutely true.
Yeah. No arguments there. We're not going to hear about Taysom. Like he's not going to get on the field. I mean, he'll get on the field. He's not going to play quarterback. I should say he's not going to get on the field as quarterback this year. Jameis, did you see that video from Jameis? By the way, him working out. He's so awkward. But
he is, and like people, there was some people saying, that's a drill. That's a good drill for quarterbacks to do. But he's such a weird mover. Raven Ron says Panthers MVP Terrace Marshall. Okay,
that's gonna be an awful season. That happens.
Yeah, I hope not. But all right.
This is what Kale was referencing. He said, "Can we talk about Taysom Hill will lead the Saints to a better record than the Cowboys?" I think the Cowboys are going to win the NFC East.
Yeah.
As long as Dak stays healthy, that's their division. Just Aloe says we're cool. It's no problem. I appreciate that. Sterling says, "Is there? I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, joking here." Well, we'll see what kind of deal he gets. Raven Ron says, "Oweh ain't sacking nobody. He is Ravens. Yannick equals Mr. Awesome. Got there. Look, I'm rooting for him. hold on, Justin. I'm rooting for I'm rooting for Orway. He's on the team. If he's out there starting, then I hope he's Von Miller. Right? I hope he leads the league in sacks. But if you ask me what I think he's going to do, no, I don't think he's going to do a whole lot. I don't think he's going to start. So it is what it is. And Justin, what'd you say? You better realize this when he leads the Saints to a better record than the Cowboys. I'm coming in hot. I'll tell you what, Justin. If that happens, you come on the show. You're gonna co-host that show at the end of the year if they finish the season with a better record. One move, Yannick. Oh, you talking about Owe? Look, like I said, it is what it is. I'm not a hater. I know you guys think I'm hating on Owe. I'm not. He's on the team. I'm just gonna root for him. That's all I can say. I'm gonna root for him.
Just Allo says there was an older guy in my hood back in Bmore or back in the day, and his nickname was Allo. He kind of took his name. He could pass the rock and make you look good.
Okay, that's what's up. What part of Baltimore? Just curious. I work over off of Biddle Street. Let's see. Owe and Sack Daddy on the bench. Bowser steps up. Yeah.
I really liked Tyus Bowser, man. I thought he was going to be great coming out of college. I think he can still carve out a really nice career. We'll see what he does this season, though. I think he would be better just playing inside linebacker, honestly.
Yeah.
As opposed to trying to be a pass rusher.
So it is bonus time. Anything you want to talk about? Like my man Justin in the chat wants to talk about some Saints. You want to talk some more Saints? You can go ahead and talk some Saints. Whatever you want, just throw it there in the chat, and we'll discuss it for a few minutes, and then after that we will be heading over to our overtime show. And if you want to be part of the overtime show, right above me, patreon.com/LBHT show. If you got $3 to spare, $3 a month, you can come and hang out. It's a lot of fun. Yes, living legend. Bonus time. It is bonus time. Okay, so let's get popping. Bowser better be good. He said Bowser better be good with that name. You know how many times he stomped Mario? Yeah.
Eric L says, how many years do you think John Harbaugh has left with the Ravens? That's a good question, man. Like, I hope the answer is one. But if Rashad Bateman comes in and plays well, and Sammy Watkins stays relatively healthy and plays well, and the O-line shows up, all the things that we kind of expect to happen, I think he'll be back. So my answer is going to be, I think he's got 3 more years.
Ooh, 3?
Yeah.
I think 1, because it's not just that he has to make the playoffs. He has to get far, right? Or if he loses, it has to be very close. I don't think he can lose. He can't lose in the first round. That's it can't be a first round loss. And depending on who you play in the next round, if he runs into they run into the Chiefs in the next round, and it's a close loss, depending on how they performed as a team, maybe he could stay. And also looking at how he did the regular season. It's a combination of how you did in the regular season and how you finished in the postseason. And I think the margin of error is very, very low for him. So, no, I don't think he makes it out of this year.
I think they go to the playoffs, lose, and the talk is, hey, Rashad Bateman was a rookie, Tylan Wallace was a rookie. We got a lot of young players. Then they come back. Well, at one, I think they do fire Greg Roman, bring in a new offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. Come back the next year, go to the playoffs again, possibly lose again. And then it's just like, well, we're coming together. We were better. We performed better in the playoffs with the offense, once we got rid of Greg Roman and everything. Then he comes back the third year, and if they don't win it, then he'll be out.
See, the reason I don't think it's going to take that long, because, yes, Bateman and Wallace are rookies, but Duvernay won't be a rookie, right? Boykin isn't a rookie. And like I said before, if nobody performs well this year, if nobody really steps up, like DeCosta isn't going to be saying, man, I'm drafting some bad players here. I need to do better. He's going to be saying, I know it's not me. I'm giving him all the tools. Yes, okay, we had some rookies this year, but what about the guys I drafted the previous years? I've drafted a bunch of wide receivers for them, and nobody's working out. Nobody's breaking out. It ain't me, it's you. So I think like it depends on the performance in the regular season. Like there has to be some breakouts. There has to, the offense has to click better because they're about to give Lamar a lot of money. So that excuse ain't gonna fly once he starts getting paid.
Look, hopefully it's 1 year, but my guess is 3. Solomon Reed, what's good, man? Thanks for coming through.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Darryl Willie, who spends more time playing their position, Taysom at quarterback or Tebow at tight end? Tebow doesn't play at all at tight end, I think. I don't think he plays at all this year.
Now, who spends more time on the field or who spends more time at that position? Because I can see Tebow just staying at tight end on paper.
Right, and just sitting on the bench. I could see that happening, but I took that to mean on the field actually playing.
Okay. I can actually see Taysom Hill making the switch to tight end.
Mr. J is asking, how many sacks do you think Spidey and Hassan get a piece? Spidey is Brian Burns, in case you don't know, and of course you don't know because he plays for Carolina. I think Hassan, I'm going to give him 8.5. I think 8.5 for Hassan, and I think Brian Burns has a monster year. And by monster year, I'm going to say 15.5 because I think it's really difficult to get, much higher than that with the way the league is with teams throwing as fast as they do. But I'm going to give him 15.5 and 8.5 for Hassan.
Okay. All right. Mr. Rose wants to know what kind of coach should the Ravens hire if they fire John Harbaugh, and that's Eric Bieniemy. There doesn't need to be any kind of coaching search. You just go and hire Bieniemy. Simple.
But, a more general answer is an offensive-minded head coach.
Yeah, and if it's not Bieniemy, it's Byron Leftwich. So, I mean, that's a short list. Raven Ron says, you be the GM. You on only one pick. You can only pick one. If Mark Andrews and Hollywood have similar production is this year, who do you extend? It's Hollywood. You can replace Mark Andrews. Tight ends are easier to replace than good quality wide receivers, especially in Baltimore. So, yeah, if Hollywood breaks out, there's no question. I mean, Hollywood's getting signed. He's getting signed. I think Mark Andrews is going to be gone.
And the thing with Mark Andrews is he's not Travis Kelce or George Kittle. Like, he's a good tight end, but he's not that elite tight end. So, yeah, you can replace him.
Yeah. I should clarify that. I should clarify that, yes. Unless you have, like, a great tight end, like a game changer. There's 2 of them in the league right now, right? You got Kelce, you got Kittle. Is there another one? I mean, Gronk he's still there technically. I mean, he should have been a Super Bowl, but
I feel Darren Waller.
Darren Waller, yes, Darren Waller.
Like an obvious one that I'm missing, but
yeah. But outside of if he's not that, then no, you don't need to pay him. You can replace him. Okay. He said Harbaugh 10 years it was long as AF. Yeah, I know. I know it. It's been a while. Just Aloe says, for a team whose receivers are so bad, how come so many spots are already taken? There are likely only 2 spots open. It's amazing, right?
Yeah, it's incredible. Listen, they have a chance to go from really bad to really good. They do. Yeah. We'll see if it happens.
Yeah, Derek Welty is saying snaps at position. Taysom Hill's going to take more snaps than Tebow.
Yeah, I think so. I'm still not 100% certain Tebow makes the team. If I'm being honest.
Nobody's disrespecting Taysom, man. We're just calling it how we see it. Okay?
No, he's not. Yeah, he's not getting disrespected. He is getting exactly right respected.
Yeah,
he's not good. He's very, very bad.
Not a quarterback. Let's see.
Justin, y'all remember when Byron got carried to the next play in college? I do, because I wanted Carolina to draft him because I saw that.
Yeah, I don't know if we have a lot of young viewers here, so I don't even know if they've ever even seen Byron Leftwich play football. But yeah, when he went to Marshall, he was in a game. I can't remember who they were playing, but he broke his leg, and he didn't want to come out the game. So what he did was he was standing in the pocket, complete a pass, and every time they completed a pass, his lineman would have to carry him down to the line of scrimmage, and they end up winning that game.
It was incredible to watch.
Yeah,
it really was.
And I just knew, I was like, oh yeah, that guy's gonna be great because he's got Grit.
That's right. And then Carolina drafted Jordan Gross, and I was like, "Way to go! You signed your own pink slips." And I was wrong, but you know, I was very young, also.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. And that was the first example to me that grit doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, grit meant a lot less than the wind up time on his throw.
Yeah. But as a coach, he's doing an excellent job, man, and I love to hire him as a head coach if he can't get beyond me.
Mr. Rose, who do you think dethrones Kamaru Usman? I think the person who eventually dethrones Kamaru Usman is somebody who you don't know yet.
If he fights for that long,
I think you could very well see him retire as the champion.
Usman's one of those people that I could see him retiring and staying retired. Right? He's a true professional, if that makes sense. Like, he's a great fighter and he understands the business of the sport. A lot of fighters aren't like that. And I think he looks at the landscape and says, okay, I want to take on the best fighters right now. I'm at the peak of my game. You know, I've done that and I'm going around and doing it again. And once I'm done with that, he's already said it. Like, I might fight like 3 more fights and then call it a career. Because yes, there's always going to be a next guy. Right, there's always going to be a next guy, but not every guy is worthy of that fight or that respect. Of, okay, I got to take him to solidify my legacy. So a few more fights, and he'll probably call it a career. So I'm gonna say nobody.
I will say this. I mean, Leon Edwards has a chance to beat him. I mean, upsets happen more often in MMA than
he's got skill. Yeah,
I wouldn't pick him to beat him, but if I have to pick a fighter right now, I would say it would be Islam Makhachev moving up to fight him.
Okay.
Because that dude is a problem.
Yeah.
And this is again assuming that Khabib doesn't come out of retirement. I think Usman can beat Khabib, but I mean that would be the most obvious threat.
Yeah, absolutely.
So right, my answer is going to be if Islam Makhachev moves up to fight him, if that ever happens. But otherwise, I think he retires as the champ.
Hey, Justin, thanks for coming through, man. Really appreciate you. And guys, make sure you subscribe to the Let's Get Ready Network. All right. Thanks, dope stuff, man. Yep. Attitude Pop says, but that's Lamar's favorite target. He's top 5 tight end, and there's been rumors of Andrews and Ravens talking about a deal. They might get a deal done. If you're asking me what I would do, he would go. Like, no, Hollywood's gonna be his favorite tight end. Bateman's gonna be his favorite target. You know, Bateman will be his favorite target. Hollywood will be his favorite target. It won't be Andrews anymore.
Andrews, I'm not saying that Andrews is a bad player. I'm not trying to disrespect Andrews at all, but he's kind of the favorite by default right now.
Yes,
they don't have any other really compelling targets there. Hollywood is still obviously developing. He was injured his first year. Yeah, and you can say that Mark Andrews is a top 5 tight end, but there is a wide gap between the top 3 and everybody else. Mark Andrews is.
Yeah. All right. What is okay? I think we kind of answered this earlier. What team is best fit for Ben Simmons? Golden State was thrown out there. He would be good in a 6-man role for Golden State.
Just Al, yes, we talked about Ben Simmons a lot at the beginning of the show.
Yes, we did. Go back and watch the replay. Yeah, we spent a decent amount of time talking Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
But hey, it's bonus time. We can talk about it a little bit. Best team you know what? Actually, we didn't actually answer that. We kind of said where he could end up, but that's a little different from what's the best fit for Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
I think it's a team with low expectations, right? A team where there's not a lot of pressure on him to win, and hopefully he works on some things. He grows up, he matures a little bit, and you know, if he has the passion for the game and he gets hungry and wants to win, later on he can pair it with some stars. But right now, I don't think he needs to be on a team that's trying to win a championship.
So my answer, as always, is going to be there is no good fit for Ben Simmons making $35 million like he does. There just isn't, because you have to score more than he is willing to score to make that much money. But if you take the salary out of it, I would say that the Lakers are actually a really good fit because without LeBron running things, they can't generate offense. So whenever LeBron's off the court, they have a really tough time, scoring points. And if you can bring in a guy like Ben Simmons, who's a great facilitator, that can help out that second unit a lot. But again, like I said, there's no good fit for him right now, making the money that he makes.
Yeah. All right, couple more comments, and then we're going to go over to overtime. And again, if you want to be a part of the overtime show, for $3, patreon.com/LBHT Show. That'll get you access to the overtime show. Okay.
And we did get another Cash App, anonymous Cash App. So thank you once again. Like I said, we appreciate every bit of support we get from you guys.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Okay. Mason J said, how long do you think Giannis will spend at the free throw line tonight? Hey, you know what? And that's another thing I didn't give him credit for earlier. He started out in that game 7 against the Nets looking awful. He airballed 2 free throws, and it seemed like the crowd was in his head, but he got together. And shout out to his brother, because his brother came over and kind of gave him a little pep talk. And after that talk, man, like he was draining those free throws.
Yeah.
He didn't miss. I don't think he missed again after that.
Yeah, the crowd really got into his head because they were counting to 10, or they were getting to 13. But because he has that really long free throw routine, and you're only supposed to get 10 seconds, and it seemed like it really, really rattled him at first. But yeah, his brother talked to him, and he seemed to lock in after that. So credit to Giannis.
You know what I love about Giannis, man? Giannis has some obvious flaws in his game, and you could tell he puts in the work to improve those things. And maybe he won't be great at those things, but he's getting marginally better. And that's what it takes to be great, right? He doesn't want to be good. He's already good. He wants to be great. And I can respect that. I respect when he does those little pull-up 3-point shots, whether he makes it or not. Like, he's taking the shots.
He's not afraid to do things that he's not great at.
Yeah. So, man, yeah. I like Giannis a lot, man. I like him a lot. So, I mean, gosh, child, what's going on, man? You came through at the end. Appreciate you coming through, though, man. Thank you, man. If you got a question, man, just type it in there real quick. We'll go over it, and then we're going to head out.
Raven Ron's asking over under 10 games played for Sammy Watkins.
Under. When's the last time you played over 10 games?
Are we counting the playoffs in that? I'm gonna say over. He's not going to be overly taxed in the Ravens offense.
That's a good point. Right? Well, he wasn't overly taxed in Kansas City.
But I mean, they threw the ball. They threw the ball a lot, though. He was running routes, right? Like out here, he's just going to be pretending to block a corner who doesn't really want to get involved in the run game anyway. So I think he'll go over 10.
So
season.
I'm a big fan of load management in basketball and football. I don't think they do it nearly enough in football. If they say, "Hey, look, we just want you healthy for the playoffs," I'm good with that. I don't need him to play more than 10 games. All right, just be ready for the playoffs. All right. Add2 Pop says, why didn't the tight end university invite Tim Tebow? Tight end university.
He's talking about your Ravens there.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not.
He made the cut, I guess. Look, I mean, that's Urban Meyer's guy. That's the only reason he's there. He shouldn't be playing football at all. God,
just Alice says it right here. Tebow is a walking publicity stunt. Everything about him is crafted. Yes.
Yeah.
He's similar to JJ Watt in that way, but JJ Watt can play. So
Agent E is here. He says, "Let's go Bucks, man." Hey, look, I'm rooting for the Bucks from here on out, man. I hope Giannis gets it. Our man Suge Knight is here. Suge Knight 323. Make sure you follow him on Twitch. No, on Twitch it's Suge Knight 1323. On TikTok it's Suge Knight 323. All right, he does videos. He's dope. And if you take a look at our Old Man Gamers channel, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. If you're into video games and talking movies and all that good stuff, you will see Suge Knight on there. We do a review. We're gonna start doing a weekly review of Loki. If you guys are watching Loki and you like that show, just tune in every week, probably like Thursday or Friday-ish. We'll put out a review of that week's show. So yeah, man, appreciate you coming through, Suge.
Godson asking, where is that shirt at? I'm not sure what shirt he's talking about.
Shirt? What shirt? You talking about my shirt or B's shirt? If you But if you really want one, I can show you where it's at though. Unless you're talking about something else. But
excuse me. Attitude Pop says no. He's talking about the program that Kittle made. Well, yeah. Tim Tebow does not play tight end.
Yeah. So, but yeah, if you want any merch, right there in the bottom, lbhtshow.com/shop. Oh, my show. Okay, you like the shirt? Okay, that's what's up. Okay, yep. Go right there. You can get one of those. In fact, yeah, this one's still up. We changed out some products recently, but this shirt is still available. We got some LBHT crew shirts, man. Then I should have had the graphics up ready. Next week I'll have some graphics up so you guys can see what we have on the store. But yeah, some amazing stuff. But all right, we are going to get out of here.
1 second. This is an example of the new shirt that we have.
Wait, are you trying to share something?
Hold on. I'm just putting it up on my green screen.
Oh, okay.
But I did it wrong. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we got a new little we did some designs for the LBHT crew merchandise. We really like it. We hope you guys like it. Like I said, man, we have shirts, tank tops, shorts, all kinds of stuff. If you see something you like, man, check it out. Yeah, you gotta move your shirt. Yeah, move your head there. But yeah, that's one of the shirts right there. LBHT crew. All right. But yeah, next week I'll have some graphics up, man. You know, you guys can get a better look at everything that's there. Yep, that's it right there. That's it. Yes, sir. And yeah, and thank you guys. Yeah, Eric L, appreciate you coming through. Attitude Pop, Living Legend, everybody that's come through tonight, man. As always, man, we really appreciate your support. Overtime for our patrons is going to start. Give me a few minutes to get it set up, and I'll send out that link. Everybody else, you have a good night, and we will see you next time. Peace out.